ass motherfucking what is window behind me, bruh. Shit.
Pasti. Mag-start na ako. Hello, good evening again. This is my second live, and this time I will have Miss Face of Humanity Indonesia. Okay, I think she's already here. I have to accept her now. Hello. Yes. Wow.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi,
Okay.
hello, Sajid. How are you?
Yeah. How are you, Nadia? Nice hairdo. A lot of people are so excited about this live. Unfortunately, I couldn't, greet everybody who's messaging, but then please keep on messaging. And if you have some questions, you are free to, drop in your message. Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege for me to introduce to you the Miss Face of Humanity Indonesia 2021, Nadia Tjoa. Let's
Hi,
give her
everyone.
let's give her
Thank
a
you for
warm
introducing.
round of virtual applause and a virtual hug. Yes, Nadia, please greet all our, viewers.
Hi, hello, everyone. My name is Nadia Tjoa. I'm Miss Face of Humanity Indonesia 2021, but Miss Face of Humanity will be in 2022. Yeah, so excited for this journey.
Okay, so at long last, no, I've been waiting for this. Nadia, so a lot of people really want to know more about you, including your sister. So let's start the ball rolling. Okay, so
Oh,
first, okay, could you please tell us, Nadia's childhood?
oh wow, my childhood. So I was born in Surabaya in Indonesia. It is in Java. And I was born with my two brothers. So I'm the middle child, actually. I'm the only girl. So my family raised me to care about other people. And I basically stayed in Surabaya for 17 years. And then I moved to Jakarta to pursue my education in university in architecture. And I finished that, and then I got into modeling, and I've loved it ever since.
Okay, Nadia, no, we are so amazed upon knowing that you took up architecture because architecture is actually known as a male's, course, right? What made you decide to,
Right.
study architecture?
First of all, I really like designing. I like knowing where things are. I like organizing as well as I like creating stuff. And I think that basics of architecture is still art. And art is supposed to make you feel something. So for me, creating something out of nothing is something that I love. And deciding to go to architecture is very easy. It was so easy. And I love doing it. I love the projects. I love finishing it. I just don't love doing it professionally because I think that in Indonesia, there is a problem that people don't appreciate design. People don't want to pay for designs. So there's still that problem. And I know that we're moving forward and doing better every day. But I hope that that is one of the things that can be better in the future.
Okay, so it's so interesting to note, Nadia, that from an architecture graduate, basically you're an architect, and then plunging into another realm, which is modeling. This is so amazing. What could you please navigate us to what happened? What transpired from architecture to modeling?
Yeah, but I think that architecture and modeling is not that different. For me
Mm-hmm.
personally, modeling is art. Modeling is creating something. Modeling is making an expression known. And so is architecture. So for me, at the core, they are two different things, but at the core, they are the same. So for me, going to modeling just because I love it. I love fashion. And I started helping my friends who are in fashion industry. And then I helped them. And then I started catwalking. And then I got into an agency. And then it became a profession. So it wasn't like choosing
A
one or the
different
other.
thing, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. It
somehow
was
they're
all very
connected,
well.
right?
Yeah,
Okay. So
definitely.
Nadia, who introduced Miss Face of Humanity to you? Could you please tell us how you were selected or chosen as the Miss Face of Humanity Indonesia?
Yeah, so Miss Face of Humanity, I think they actually contacted my organization, which is Yayasan Dunia Mega Bintang, and my national director, Kak Ivan, with our team, Sir Dardo. They talk, and then basically they decide that I will be going because of the advocacies that I had beforehand, because I was already doing all these things even before pageants. I've been teaching refugee kids for Indonesia and English language, and I do it not because I was going to a pageant. I didn't do it because I have to do something. I do it because I love it, and because I think that it is at the core. I believe that being a teacher is a good profession, and it is contributing to society. So that's why they
Okay.
chose me.
Yeah, and I think you're the perfect face of humanity for that. Now, Nadia, you mentioned that you've been doing this even before they offered you the title and the crown of Miss Face of Humanity, right? What made you decide to really, go into helping refugees?
Yeah, so going from art, because we were talking about art before, so there was this event, it was called Art for Refuge in Jakarta. And I volunteered as one of the people who were working there. And I met the refugee community because the event was for them to showcase their art so that people can contribute, people can pay for their art, because in Indonesia, refugees cannot work. They cannot work, so they have to find money other ways. So basically, they pay for the art and they use that money to live. And because I got to know the community, and then I saw like the little kids, because little kids were drawing, like they were making stuff. And I fell in love with the community, and they were such good people. They were beautiful, beautiful soul as well. So I joined and I asked, how can I volunteer? And then I started going every Tuesday and Thursday and teaching there.
Okay, that's amazing to know. Okay, so let's focus on your advocacy, Nadia. What are the options available to refugees?
What are the options?
Yeah, available to them because we are aware that some of them still don't want to settle in Indonesia. They still want to settle
Yeah,
to other countries later on, right? And some would want probably to go back to their own country with some sort of protection and dignity if given the opportunity. So for you, what do you think are some of the options that you could offer here in Indonesia that could probably make them stay or in Indonesia for the rest of their lives, something like that?
the thing is that the government of Indonesia doesn't allow refugees to become citizens.
Oh,
So
okay.
they cannot stay. Uh, the current law is that they cannot stay even if they want to. Some of them have stayed for years. Some of them have stayed here for 15 years. And because they want to move to the third country, but they don't have the permit yet. So they're still here. And this is why it's such a problem, because sometimes they built their whole life here, they study here, sometimes they have friends, they have families here, but also they cannot become a citizen, and it is still a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm
so
just going to
Nadia,
say,
uh, are you saying that the stay of the refugees here, no matter how long it would be, will definitely be not for permanent status, right? So at some point they have to
yeah,
leave Indonesia. So, but
yeah,
the Indonesian government is tolerant, no, to let them stay for as long as they could,
yeah.
no. Oh, I
The
see. That's
government of Indonesia, Yeah, the government of Indonesia is, they uphold the human rights. So if refugees come, they will not kick them out or send them back. But when they come, still cannot become a citizen. So they have to move to a third country to be permanently resettled. Yeah, it's
Okay.
very complicated.
Yeah, and so and it's very interesting to know this from you, no? Among the, do you have a data of how many refugees there is in Indonesia?
Yes, actually there are less than 20,000. There are
Okay.
more because of the crisis in Afghanistan. I believe the exact number is around 13,000 or 16,000, but I have to look it up. But it's less
Mhm.
than 20.
So
Yeah.
the demographics of the refugees come from normally which country?
They come from Middle East usually, but there are some from Rohingya, and most of them are from Afghanistan. As we know, the crisis there
Yeah. Mm.
is making people unfortunately have to leave to save their lives.
So, based on the refugees in Indonesia, Nadia, how many percent do you think are children?
There are actually quite a lot, and I'll have to look it up because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say a number
Yeah, yeah.
and be inaccurate, but there are thousands in Jakarta. That
Okay.
the thing is that the children of refugees, since they don't have an ID number, they don't have passports, they don't have legal identifications. When they try to go to schools, they try to find formal educations. Sometimes it is very hard. And there are ways they could do this now, but also there's the barrier of the language. They
Mhm.
usually speak another language where they come from. Afghanistan, they speak Farsi. And in Indonesia, the main language in schools are Indonesian. So first of
Mhm.
all, they either have to learn English or they have to learn Indonesian so they can understand what their teachers are telling them. And this is one of the problems. Yeah, it's very hard to do all these things and make sure that their kids grow up and become a member of society.
Yeah. Okay, Nadia, most of the developing countries are actually the ones who are accepting refugees, no? What do you think is the reason for that?
I think first and foremost, like in the case of Canada, because I know that Canada is accepting a lot of refugees, they have the declining birth rate. So there are less people in each generation, and there's enough land, there's enough resources for them. So they can afford to accept people. And there are good people of Canada that have sponsored refugees in Indonesia personally. And I think it is out of the goodness of their heart. And because I think that Canadian people is so helpful and they're so nice. And I think that those countries, they have the resources, they have the system, and that's how they can afford to have refugees. Indonesia, unfortunately, is still a developing country, and there are many things that we have to fix before we start accepting people. That is what the government of Indonesia have to think about. But
Yeah.
for me personally, looking at them and looking at how they live, looking at their family, looking at their children, I personally would want them to be able to be here, would want them to be able to start a life and be safe.
That's amazing. Okay, how far, up to what extent do you think you can pursue this advocacy?
I think that the refugee crisis is an ongoing thing, and it is a global problem. It is not just in Indonesia, it is not just in Afghanistan, but there are ecological issues that make people leave, not just because of crisis, but also many other things. And I think that how far I can take it is how far the problem is, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the problem is still growing, so there's still room to grow. There's still help that we have to give to humanity.
Mhm. Okay, wonderful. Some are asking me personally, no, why Nadia is so fluent and articulate in English. Could you please answer that?
Oh, thank you. First of all, yeah, so I studied English. It's like I studied hard and I studied it in school for years and I practice. I just make it my language, my second language. And I speak it with my friends. They help me with it, and that's how I learn.
So that's it. You have the answer. No, she made English as part of her system, but at the same time, she never forgets her native language, which is Bahasa Indonesia. She's also fluent in Bahasa Indonesia. Okay,
Yeah.
so now Nadia, what are some of the preparations that you're doing towards the Miss Face of Humanity Global Showcase in April?
Yeah, so I had a lot of preparations. I had Q&A classes, I had catwalk classes, and some of it I posted on my Instagram so people can follow and people can see. And yeah, I think that with the time that I have, because we were supposed to have the showcase in December, but now we
Yeah.
move it to April. Is that we have few more months for me to be able to go out there and spread the word and the message, and also touch more lives. I'm able to organize some works. It's an ongoing process, but I'm gonna go to a couple of community. Uh, some of them are going to be in rural area, but also in unfortunate areas in Jakarta where people who cannot afford to live like a good life. But also like we're going to start working there with the children as well, because I think that the main advocacy that I have is for the children, it's for the next generation. Yeah, so I'm going to use those months to be able to go to meet many more people and be able to spread the word.
Yeah, okay. So among the Miss Face of Humanity sisters that you have, who are the sisters that you are always in contact with? Because when I talk personally to some of the queens, your name always pops out. No, I mean that they get in touch with you. So who among of the girls are you always communicating with?
Yeah, first of all, we have a group, and
Mm.
I think that I've I've talked to a lot of the girls in the group because we just like keep chatting. But also, I met View. View means Face of Humanity Thailand
Thailand.
because I went to Bangkok. Because I
Yeah.
went to Bangkok a few weeks ago, and now she took me around. We went and she helped me bargain for stuff because I'm a terrible bargainer. I cannot do it. And she helped me with that. And we had, she took me to like a hot pot place. So it was nice and she showed me around. It was really fun. But also I
Okay.
talked to Louise a lot.
Yeah, okay. So, Nadan, although your advocacy is, about refugees, of course, we are also interested to know about your thoughts on different issues all over the world. So I'll be asking you some random questions, and we would like to know your thoughts about them. First, your thoughts on LGBTQ community.
Just my thoughts. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have my friends who are in LGBTQ community. And I think that when I talk to them, when I connect with them personally, you see the humanity. You see that people are people. You see that their preferences and who they choose to love shouldn't be the thing that people hate them for. So I think that basically we shouldn't look at people based on their preferences. We have to embrace each other. And LGBTQ is a community that is expressive. They are loud, but they are so fun. And I would love that people will be able to embrace them more in the future.
Okay. There are other queens, no, these Face of Humanity queens, who are actually who are in a country where LGBT is not openly accepted and tolerated and all like that, and they are having difficulty as well. What can you advise, no, to them on how to handle such issue in such a way that they would be able to encourage people to make their fellow countrymen realize, no, the value of acceptance?
I think that it is hard for me to judge another country because if I were to judge another country, I have to judge my own country first. I have to say that is Indonesia open to LGBTQ community? Is Indonesia embracing people who are different? And I would say, unfortunately, although there are many good people, unfortunately, it is very hard to say in my conscience that we are embracing them, that we are encouraging them to show themselves, to be able to live their life true to themselves. And if I were to give an advice, I have to give an advice to my country first, is that everyone should open up their hearts and allow people to be who they are and not judge each other. And if that worked in Indonesia, I think that hopefully it will work in another country. And that is what hopefully people will accept.
Okay, now let's talk about women empowerment. How would you empower another woman?
I will empower another woman. I think the beauty of being a woman and being in the presence of another woman is that we are very supportive. Queen supports queens. So I think for me, I want to like tell them that they are beautiful. They're beautiful inside and out. And not just from their face, not just from their outer appearance, but also from their hearts, because women have the biggest heart and they have the ability to be soft, the ability to be strong, and the ability to move forward with the challenges in their lives.
Okay, Nadia, do you think a beauty queen like you or a Face of Humanity like you should be involved in the political affairs of your country?
I think that it depends. I think that in many countries, it is very hard for women figures to be accepted. And for me personally, I am not interested in going into politics because I think that I can touch more lives doing what I do. I can inspire more people by doing humanitarian work, work with the United Nations and all that stuff. I think that being in politics makes you choose. Being in politics makes you have to prioritize people. And it is a very difficult thing to do when you're a humanitarian. So for me, it depends on the person, depends on the queen, and it depends on the country that they're in. Sometimes it is important for us to speak up, it is important for us to represent, but also sometimes it is unsafe. And sometimes I want my fellow women to be safe first before they start going out, speaking out. I want them to be safe first and foremost.
Okay, you have a lot of followers, Nadia. You have a lot of people who believe in you and all. But of course, we cannot deny the fact that sometimes, no, there are, no matter how nice we are, no matter how good we are, no matter how genuine we are, there will always be people who have something not so good to say about you. So if ever you will encounter such, how will you handle that?
Yeah, so this is my motto in doing social media, is that when you have fans, you have haters. And it comes hand in hand. But the thing is that you always have more fans than haters. And you focus on the positive side, you focus on the people who love you, who support you, and you don't listen to people who try to bash you, who want to put negative thoughts and negative energy in your lives. So for me, it is easy because I have so many people who support me, who are encouraging, who want to see me grow, and I focus on that energy.
Amazing. Okay. Will you marry a man whose religious belief is different from yours?
The religious belief.
Yeah.
So for me, it is important that people have the ability to choose their religion. And it is because I grew up with my parents giving me the opportunity to choose my own religion and for me to believe in the things that I believe in. So I would like to extend that to the people that I choose to live with in the future. I want them to be free, to be able to practice what they believe in. And I don't think that people should choose each other to look at each other based on their religion first. I think that you should look at each other based on the goodness of their heart, how they treat other people, how they think of other people. And I think that that is more important than their religion.
Okay, let's talk about death penalty because Indonesia is one of the few countries which still impose death penalty. Although the international community is actually prodding Indonesia to, lift this, but of course, Indonesia is firm on its decision to keep it, right? What is your view about this?
I think that it is a very controversial topic. For me personally, I wouldn't say that killing another person will make the death, the sin disappear. I wouldn't say that it is equal. I wouldn't say that human lives is you cannot put a value on a human life. I believe that it is not in our rights to take it away. So for me, I would never impose on someone the death penalty. But also, I am not the government. I am not a politician, and I understand that they are doing it for a reason. And is that reason justified in 21st century? That is up to debate and up to the political system and the people who are in them. I don't think that I can decide for them, and I don't think I can decide for Indonesia.
Do you think, Nadia, even though we are claiming now that women are actually equal to men in all aspects, but then if you're going to take a closer look in about the state of women in other countries, especially in the third world countries, women are still discriminated. Do you think, personally, do you think it still happened? Do you think it still exists?
Yeah, I think that it still exists in professional work, in daily lives, in how we raise the children. I think that definitely it still exists. That some culture, and unfortunately, because Indonesia is a large country with different mindsets, and because we have different sets of people, and some of them believe that men are more important. Some of them believe that they should invest more on the men. And some of them believe that women should stay in the kitchen. Some of them believe that women don't need to study more. And because I have been doing professional work as well as office work, I can tell you for a fact that men are more encouraged in the meeting rooms, that they can speak more freely. The women have to think about what they talk about. The women have to basically tiptoe with patriarchy. So I think that it definitely still exists. We are moving forward to a better future where women are able to speak up, to be able to take charge and take space. But unfortunately, we are not there yet.
Okay, and I think Miss Face of Humanity Queens will be the ones, no, to promote that and to empower more women to become leaders also and to become equal to men. Amazing, you're Nadia. I'm receiving a lot of comments here. You're so amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the pandemic. Okay, what is the greatest lesson that you've learned from this pandemic?
Yeah, the pandemic has been hard and tough for everyone. And it definitely was tough for me too because my family got COVID. And the thing that I learned from that is that health is the most important thing. And also, I have to keep my family close. I have to take care of my family. And we have to cherish the moments that we spend together, the moments we can talk to each other. And I think that a lot of people realize that in the past few years that you stay home, you spend time with your family, and then you find out, you figure things out about each other that you didn't know before. And I think that this pandemic is a terrible thing, but if there is one good thing that comes from it, that is that we can spend more time with our family.
Okay, so let's talk about vaccination. I know you are fully vaccinated, no, but there are still people in Indonesia who don't want to be vaccinated for personal reason. Uh, would you, if you will have your way, would you? How would you encourage them to be vaccinated?
Yeah, it's funny you say you mentioned vaccination because me and my national director, as well as my organization, we went a few months ago. We went to a couple of places in Jakarta, and then we set up mass vaccination.
Wow,
And where in one weekend, we got to vaccinate 3,000 people. And at the end, we
amazing.
got to 10,000 people. So for me, the way to encourage people is going there, going to their neighborhood, going to their friends, going to their community, and tell them that the vaccine is ready for you. And this is your time to be ready for them.
Wow, that is amazing. No? There is a question here from your Miss Face of Humanity sister, Louis, from Canada. Okay. Hi, Louise. Hi, beautiful sister. So far, you are amazing. I would like to know your projects after the global showcase we're going to live together.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I've been talking to Louise for some time now, and we actually are architects. So we both are architects. So I think that we definitely can go and do some projects together in regards of that, and that's gonna be so exciting. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do something together, Louise.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so let's talk about your preparation. I mean, not preparation, but the what do you call this? The global showcase. No, what are you doing to promote the project? No, of Miss Face of Humanity to your fans and to your followers and to the world. What are some of the things that you're doing? You mentioned a while ago, but then let's go into the details of it.
Yeah, so actually, a month ago, I went to Cisarua, and there was like a refugee school there. And when I went there, I mentioned that I'm gonna be competing in Miss Face of Humanity, and we made we made videos, and then we took pictures, as well as I told the kids there about what we're doing. And the reception has been amazing. They love it. They love the message, and I think that love for humanity is a universal language that people can accept. And also, I go to my social media, I post that, and then I tell people through lives, through my stories, through going on live, to going to actual events, and telling the people that I know about the Face of Humanity and what we're doing and what message we're gonna move forward with. So I think that I'm gonna continue to do that until March when I'm going to Canada.
Okay, so let's talk about the people who are helping because I talked to some of the sisters. There are not so lucky enough to have a team of their own to help them out, prepare for their Miss Face of Humanity journey. Some of them are actually struggling. Some of them
Oh,
are actually doing it on their own. That's why it came up. It came up when I was interviewing Miss Face of Humanity Thailand with Louis last time. No, she offered some help. No, if ever I think there were some gowns offering and all like that. No, I'm very sure you have an organization which is very supportive of you, no? Could you please tell or share to us how does your organization help you along in your preparation?
yeah, actually, I saw that clip with you offering some assistance, and I love it. I love the message. I love the togetherness, the sisterhood, and if there's anything I can do to help, I will be open for it. But to answer your question, I have my organization called Yayasan Dunia Mega Bintang, and they are arranging for several queens, not just me. And we have teams. We have the national director, Kak Ivan, and then we have the creative director, Dardo, and then we have Wahyu, which is our stylist. We have Gilang, which is our makeup artist. And basically, every time I have an event or I have going to somewhere to do social work, I have them behind me who are encouraging me, who are helping me, giving me advice, and also helping me developing my ideas. So I've been very, very lucky to be able to have this team, to be able to have this help, and most importantly, to have the lessons, to have them telling me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing, what I can fix, what I can do better next time. And I think that I'll learn a lot through this journey, and I'm going to continue to learn. And I hope that people who support me can support me all the way up to Canada.
Okay. Will you be going to Canada, to Toronto, Canada on your own, or there are some people or some members of the team who will be joining with you?
Yeah, so actually, it's been very difficult to process the visa,
Yeah.
but but the creative director is gonna be there. Tentative is that my national director might be there as well, but
Okay, wow.
we're looking at the condition.
Yeah, really fully supported. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was this fan votes that's going on, organized by the Miss Face of Humanity. I noticed that the first week you were not fully active. Were you
Yes.
aware about it, or you just realized that after that week?
Yeah, so I was aware that it was open, but I wasn't aware that there was a weekly count. And yeah, so I wasn't promoting it, but I've been promoting it the last few days. So I hope that people see it.
Okay. So now, this is a tough question, no? Why should you be the Miss Face of Humanity Global Ambassador 2021-22?
Yeah, this is a tough question. So for me, the message in the Miss Face of Humanity, love for humanity, is a very important message. And growing up, I've learned about Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, which means unity in diversity. It is an Indonesian motto. And I believe in looking at people for who they are, people as people, humans as humans. Not because of their skin color, not because of their religion, not because of where they come from and the languages that they speak. So for me, if I were to have the chance to work with Miss Face of Humanity as their global ambassador, that is the message that I'm going to spread to the world. And I've been spreading that message with the works that I have in Indonesia. And just imagine the work we can do together globally. Because I know that Miss Face of Humanity have a lot of reach, and it has the opportunity to reach many more lives, to inspire more people. Because that, in my childhood, the people who inspire me are the people who are speaking out and spreading these messages. So for me, I would love the opportunity to work with the team, the Miss Face of Humanity, to be able to spread the message of love to the world.
Okay. Nadia, let's entertain a question from Hills Kalman. Hi there, Nadia. What's your biggest mission, or what's the biggest mission that you set up for yourself, but that you will set up for yourself once you become the queen? So
What's the
probably,
biggest
I think the question is like, what is the first or the major project that you will start doing as soon as you assume the title, if ever?
I don't know the Face of Humanity yet, first and foremost. You're jumping way ahead. But also,
No, because of course, everybody, all our supporters, we pray and we hope that our respective queens will be the winner, right, of this Face of Humanity. So probably this supporter of yours would want to know that if ever you will win the crown and clinch the title, what would be the first major project that you're going to embark?
the Miss Face of Humanity, they have a motto called Beyond Beautiful, Beyond Powerful. So for me, I wanna work on that. I wanna go to another country because I know that it is one of their mission that the Queen will go to another country and spread the message. For me, I want to work with the United Nations as well as the communities in the respective countries. I also want to work with the children because I believe that children is the key to a better future. And I think that the message of love is universal and we can do so much. And I wouldn't say that doing what I do here is going to work in another country. I think that we have to research, we have to go there, we have to see the problem, and that is how we fix the problem. I wouldn't say that doing what I do here is gonna be worth it in another country because we don't know the situation, we don't know the condition. So for me, I want to move around and spread the word because I think that through my experience talking to people here in Indonesia, and when you speak about love, when you speak about love for humans, people will accept that and people will take that to heart. So if we go to another country and then we tell them that this is our message and we want you to become a humanitarian because you are human, I think that that is how we spread the word and that is how we spread the message.
So touching. Okay. Nadia, what do you think is the greatest contribution of Indonesia to the world?
I think that Indonesia, we are a very peaceful country. We accept people and we are friendly. And Indonesia is upholding human rights. So we are encouraging other countries to be able to have peace talks in Indonesia, as well as have those conversations here. So the biggest contribution Indonesia have is by being an active player in the world, that we encourage peace.
Okay. Now, from this Face of Humanity updates, when are you going to visit us in Europe? We will love to see you.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go to Europe for a while, but I have no idea because of the condition. If you know that Indonesia currently is having this regulation that if you come back from another country, you have to quarantine for 10 days. And I just finished my quarantine. So for me to travel, I have to take that into account and have the arrangement as well. So we'll see. I really want to go.
Okay, so this Face of Humanity updates, just wait for the situation to get better and Nadia will be visiting you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If Nadia, if you will bring along your Face of Humanity sisters to Indonesia, what are the things
Mm.
that you will offer them? Or what are the foods that you will offer them, and where will you bring them? The places.
Oh, wow. There are so many things. I love I love to show them the beautiful nature of Indonesia. So I want to take them to Danau Toba. It's the lake. It's beautiful. It's on top of a mountain. And I'm sure they're gonna be excited to go to Bali and surf there, take a beautiful sunset pic. And I want them to try the Indonesian cuisine because we have very unique food. And the thing is that Indonesia is such a diverse country that the food in certain parts are different from the others. So I want them to try gado-gado, rawon, nasi goreng, and I want them to try spicy food as well. Because I don't know if they'll like it. You should try it at least once.
Yeah, I'm salivating, and I'm in Bali right now.
Oh, wow! Oh,
Yes.
you're in Bali.
I arrived here yesterday.
Wow, everyone's in Bali.
Yeah. Okay, I think there are some questions, Nadia. You're so popular. A lot. Oh, from Manohara Beauty Camp. What
Ooh.
qualities are you to wear Miss Face of Humanity crown?
What quality?
What qualities do you possess for you to wear the Miss Face of Humanity crown?
I think that the first thing that my parents teach me is to have compassion, to be able to reach other people's hearts, and to put yourselves in others' position. So for me, I think that the message of love, you need compassion for that. You need to be able to know other people, talk to other people, to be able to put yourselves in their shoes and know about their struggles. So I think that if I were to wear the crown, it's gonna be compassion that brings me there.
Okay, I hope Manohara Beauty Camp, you're satisfied, Sariento and Miss Rochelle. Okay, another question from Karina Lai. Hi, Kaka Nadia. How how can we ensure dignity for all human beings?
Oh
Uh,
wow,
yeah,
that is such a beautiful question.
yeah. Have you seen it?
I
Yeah.
think that yeah, yeah. For me, to ensure dignity is for us to have respect, for us to be able to respect other people, not based on their profession, not what they look like. And I think that humans, they all have dignity. They all are born with dignity. They have rights to their dignity. So for me, we have to respect that, and we have to respect all human beings.
Okay, wow. Okay. Your answers, Nadia, are all on point. You're nailing all the questions. Okay. Uh, okay, guys, if you have some questions, you're free to ask her, no? But Nadia, uh, what are you going to tell to a 15-year-old girl who is suffering from mental health problem?
Yeah, I think that 15 years old is when you start to feel a lot of things. When you are confused. I remember when I was 15, oh my gosh. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know what message I should believe in. And going through mental health issues at that point in life is such a hard thing to be going through. So for me, what got me through are the friends. My friends that hold my hand, that listen to me, that listen to all my troubles. And I think that the message for them is to believe in yourself, believe that you have your worth, You are a human being. You are beautiful inside out. And you're brilliant and unique. There is no one else like you. And to the 15-year-old girl watching this, I want to say that you are worth it. That your life is worth the world. And you can get through all the issues that you have right now. And you're going to look back at it and say, I was so stupid for thinking that, just as I am today.
Okay. You have so many questions, Nadia. You're so popular. Miss Face of Humanity updates, as an ambassador, how would you solve the problem of cyberbullying in today's generation?
Yeah, I think that cyberbullying, it stems from people looking to each other through phones, looking to each other through the lenses, through internet, so they don't know who they're talking to. They don't know that there are real people reading those messages, reading those comments. And for me, cyberbullying comes back to the education they got from their parents, from the school, that you have to look at each other still as people. When you're talking to your online friends, when you're talking through games, through social media, you are talking to people. And this is how we get it back to humanity, that people are important and shouldn't hurt each other like that.
Wow, amazing, Queen. I was about to say amazing, and somebody commented, amazing, Queen. Okay. Nadia, I know you're still young. You're still very young, but I want to ask you, no, what was what was the biggest mistakes that you've committed in life so far, and what did you do to correct that mistake?
Yeah, my mistakes. Oh my. I'm sure there are so many. Like when I was young, I'm not as articulate as I am now. I don't have people to tell me what I did wrong and teach me the ways. So for me, the biggest mistakes I have is not trusting the advice that I got, I think. Yeah, I think that when I was young, I was headstrong. I want to be right. I wanna move forward and just go with my own ways. But now I realize that people who are close to me, my friends, my parents, they are saying those advice because they want me to do better. They want me to become a better person and they want me to succeed. So if I could go back, I'll slap myself in the face and be like, listen to your parents, listen to your teachers.
Okay. Okay, Nadia, somebody messaged me. Are you in a relationship right now?
Why, is someone interested?
Yeah,
No, actually,
maybe I'm
I'm not.
interested. Okay, she's single. Okay. Yeah, because you cannot help them, Nadia, because you're so amazing. You're so articulate. You're so beautiful. You're so smart, and people are drawn to you. The way you answer, if you could see from the messages and from the comments, everything is so amazed with the way you respond and you answer. So that's why, I mean, it's understandable that people would definitely, ask more about you. Okay, what are your plans for the next 5 years?
Oh, there are so many. So, yeah, I'm the kind of person that I like to manifest. I like to think of other things I can do, think about other projects, even if it's not possible right now, or if it's like years in the future. So for me, I want to do acting, I want to do modeling, I want to work with many different photographers as well as many different directors here. But also, I want to work with so many good organizations. I've worked with the UN, and I want to continue to work with them in a global scale. I want to be able to talk to many young women and being able to listen to their life stories. And maybe in the future, I want to make a book. I don't know, but those are the things that I want to think about now so that it can happen in the future.
Okay. I think this has been already asked, but we would just want to acknowledge the one who asked this question, Jonathan Sepaya. His question is actually, what is the best mistake that you've ever done in and why? I think she has already answered that. Miss Face of Humanity updates. My last question to you is, why are you so beautiful? You have to answer that.
It's all the makeup. It's all
No,
the
no, I think
makeup.
they see in you the beauty within.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So a lot are commenting. Okay. Now Nadia, what's this? I would like you to give your message to someone who is a terrorist. If you will be encountering a terrorist at this point, what are you going to tell him? A global terrorist.
Oh, wow. It's a very hard thing to do, to change someone's mind once they've made it. So for me to say to a terrorist is that, would you do this to your own family? Would you do this to your children, to your daughter, to your sister? Would you do what you're doing right now? And I, in my conscience, would say that they wouldn't. So to a terrorist, please don't. Because this is a beautiful world and we want to keep it like that. Yeah.
Wow, wow, really wow. Okay, what are your thoughts on those women who are undergoing abortion?
Oh, wow. So abortion is a difficult thing to go through. And there are many reasons why women choose to do it. Some of them was rape. Some of them couldn't afford a baby. Some of them is a single parent and they have many kids already. So for me, I wouldn't judge a woman for their situation and for their choices. And abortion is something that someone is going through personally with their family as well as themselves. So for anyone who is choosing to do abortion, I would say that be strong, know that you have your humanity in you, and you are not less of a person because of your choices. Oh,
You know what, Nadia? Some of the comments are like, they were so moved with your answers, no? They were deeply touched, no? Of the sincerity of the answer, which is so powerful and so amazing. I saw another question, but it was so fast. That's why, but I remembered it. What can you say about those who are marrying a teenage marriage, marrying at a very, young age?
you know, it is one of the phenomenon that is happening in many parts of the world, as well as in Indonesia. Because going through COVID, a lot of the impoverished family, they have teenage kids, and they think that the women especially, that there's no space for them in the house, that there's no resources for them. So they encourage them to get married, encourage them to marry another guy, usually a much older guy, and for them to be taken care by that person. So for me, teenage marriage is a very important issue. And it is the reason why a lot of females, a lot of women, they don't get enough education and they just go to marriage and they support another person's family. So I think that it is very important for us to know that it is real, it is a real issue, and people are going through it as we speak through this pandemic. And we have to encourage people to know that women's lives, they are worth so much and their future is worth even more.
What do you think, Nadia, is the number one problem of Indonesians at this point?
Definitely COVID.
Yeah.
Pandemic. Yeah, I think that June and July was the worst time for Indonesians because so many people were dying. The hospitals were full. There were not enough doctors. There were not enough oxygens. So going through COVID and having us been through several waves already, I think that this is the time for us to be strong for each other. And we are at the end of the tunnel. We can see the light, and I hope that it blows over soon.
What now we can see now that the COVID situation in Indonesia is getting down, right?
Yeah.
But of course, we're still in a pandemic. What would you advise to the Indonesians for this case not to increase again?
Yeah, so I think that it is much different than from when it was worse in June and July. I think that now we have spaces in the hospital. Now we have enough workers to handle the sick. But also, it is at a critical point where we have to vaccinate, where we have to take care of each other, wear the masks. In Indonesia, we use this app called Peduli Lindungi for us to track people and to track the infection. So when you go to a mall, when you go to public spaces, if they're telling you to scan the barcode and use the app, please do. And just follow the rules, follow the government, what they say. And if they're telling you to quarantine, please do. And don't infect other people if you're sick.
Okay. Now, Nadia, I'll give you 1 minute to tell the world your message.
Oh wow, 1 minute is a very long time. So my message to the world is that we are going through a critical point in time where we have to go hand in hand, embrace each other, look at the humanity in people, and spread the message of love. I love the humans that we are. I love the world that we are. I love that I have friends that I can hold on to. I love that I have strangers who love me. And my message to the world is that peace is possible. That world peace is not just an idea. It is something that is tangible, that we can achieve if we go together. If we listen to each other, if we open up our minds, and if we believe in each other's hearts. So I think that my message to the world is embracing world peace. That world peace is truly in front of our eyes, and we can go through it together. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay. My gosh, I'm speechless. Okay. Nadia, before we end, no, let's. I want you to give your messages to people who matter to you. First, your family.
Messages to my family is that I'm really glad that all of you are safe, that we recovered from the pandemic, that everyone is healthy, everyone is feeling great. And I hope that throughout the next year, as we go, and as I prepare for Miss Face of Humanity, I will make you proud, and I will do my best to make my family proud.
Okay. To the Yayasan, to the Miss Face of Humanity Indonesia. To Yayasan,
to my national director, Ivan Gunawan, thank you for all the support, all the messages that you give me, and all your encouragement, everything that you do for us. I know that you put your heart in it, and everything that you do is because you believe in us. And to Ayah Dardo, thank you for being so critical, being so efficient, being able to reply all the emails. I love that you always reply to me, even if I message you like in the middle of the night. And thank you. Thank you for the time and support. And I want to say to everyone else in Yayasan Dunia Mega Bintang, thank you for helping me. Thank you for helping all my Queen sisters, everyone. We do so many things at once, and you guys have the energy, you guys have the focus to help all of us. And I think that is admirable, and I love what you do for us.
Okay. To the Miss Face of Humanity organization.
To Miss Face of Humanity organization, I met some of you through Zoom calls the other day, and thank you for showing me the message of love, as well as showing me the crown and showing me the people that are working on the inside, because I have to know the people to be able to work together. And I think that knowing Terence, knowing his team, knowing everyone in it, is that they have the focus and they have the beautiful heart in it. They truly believe in the message. And I am so excited to be there. I'm so excited to meet all of you in person. And I want to work with you. I want to be able to meet all my Queen sisters and work with you together.
Okay. Of course, we cannot forget those people who are supporting you, the pageant lovers, no, the different pageant portals, such both the Latinas, etc., Boba pageants, and all sorry, I cannot mention all, but they've been messaging. You've been getting a tremendous support from the Indonesian people. It's very evident. This is actually my most viewed lives. Okay, so your message to the Indonesians who have been supporting you all throughout, and the support is very prominent, very much felt.
Oh, thank you. So my message to pageant lovers in Indonesia is that I love you so very much. I know that you guys are supporting me, and every time I post, every time I say my message, I get DMs saying encouragement, saying that they believe in me. And thank you, truly thank you to all of you and all the pageant portals. I've met most of them, and they are lovely. They're lovely people. And they're so passionate in pageant, and they're like walking encyclopedia of pageants. Oh my gosh, they know everyone. And I admire their dedication, I admire their knowledge, and I love each and every one of them.
Wow. Okay, and to end this, no, an unprecedented number of people around the world have been forced from their homes as a result of violence and instability. But the situation is not without hope because our Miss Face of Humanity Indonesia has started it all. She starts providing access to life-saving assistance to all the refugees and to all who have been searching for their safety. Thank you so much, Nadia, for spearheading this kind of advocacy, which is also very rare and not a common advocacy that is being, promoted by, a certain queen. And for that, we truly appreciate. A lot of people appreciate what you're doing, the hard work that you've been doing for this Miss Face of Humanity, and we are all the way 100% supporting you in your journey. Please be rest assured that the whole of Indonesia is behind your back. Okay. So. Yeah, thank you so much to Yaya Sandunya Mega Bintang, to Padardo, Pa Ivan, to all your providers, to Manuhara Beauty Club, to all the people, pageant lovers, everybody. Thank you so much. Last message, Nadia, before we end.
There's one thing that I think I haven't mentioned is that please vote for me. So they have opened up the votes. You can go to my Instagram, and there's a link there that's going to take you to the website where you can vote for me. So, and also thank you to everyone who's watching. I know that this is like very late at night in Indonesia when you guys are watching. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening for such a long time. And I'm so excited to be in this journey and doing so much more in the future.
Yeah, and if you would be able to read all their messages, they're so heartwarming. Their messages of support to you, Nadia. You are actually creating an impact to these people. That's why they are following, and you are inspiring them without you knowing it. You are inspiring them with the way you answer the questions, all the questions right now. There were so much inspirations that you've given to the people who watch, and I myself, I felt it. No? I felt the sincerity, the authenticity of all the answers that you've given. Good luck to your journey for the Miss Face of Humanity. Ladies
Thank
and
you so
gentlemen,
much.
let's have a warm round of applause, virtual round of applause to our Miss Face of Humanity Indonesia, Nadia Tjoa. We love you, Nadia. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
hosting this.
everybody. Thank you, love. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.